Life is short. Enjoy it while you can.
Kaieteur Radio, keeping you informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Burby's 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Good day and welcome to your news at noon on Kaieteur Radio. I'm Kevin Smith. The AFC believes that the excessive tax waivers being granted to oil companies operating in Guyana must cease. During the party's first press conference for the year on Friday, leader Kemaraj Ramjatan said that he was disappointed that the court case challenging the tax giveaways to ExxonMobil and its subcontractors was defeated. The case was filed by publisher of Kaieteur News, Mr. Glenn Lall, in January of 2022 to reverse the excessive tax waivers being granted to persons other than licensees, which violate the Petroleum Exploration and Production Act and the Financial Administration and Audit Act. He went on to explain that at the time the contract was signed in 2016 under the APNU coalition with the AFC, the then administration believed it was in line with the regulation that allows pioneering industries to be tax-free for the first 5 years of existence. He said when the losses from the tax waivers are considered today, the AFC believes that the tax provisions in the Stabroek Block Agreement must be renegotiated in the future. In other news, the Ministry of Housing and Water, along with the Central Housing and Planning Authority, on Friday signed contracts valued $56.8 billion to kickstart its 2023 Housing Infrastructure Development Program in Regions 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 10. The contracts were signed for the execution of infrastructural works, including roads, bridges, culverts, and electrical networks across the 4 regions, and also for the construction of a new 4-lane highway from Great Diamond to Craig, East Bank, Demerara. And in other news, Speaker of the National Assembly, Manzoor Nadir, has turned down a request by opposition Member of Parliament Catherine Hughes seeking clarity on the Wales gas-to-energy project. Hughes said yesterday that she received a call from the Clerk of the National Assembly, Sherlock Isaacs, on Tuesday, informing that the Speaker of the House will not allow her questions submitted on January 20th, 2023, since these issues were addressed by head of the Gas-to-Energy Task Force, Winston Brassington, when Guyana hosted its energy conference. She told the press that this response is unacceptable since the minister responsible for the project has a responsibility to lay his responses in Parliament. She pointed out that the government cannot be unwilling to respond to concerns depending on which MP raises those issues. In this case, that represents a sizable portion of the population. Meanwhile, a fire that erupted around 16 hours on Friday has destroyed an apartment building at Louisa Row, Georgetown, leaving several families homeless. The fire reportedly started in the bottom flat of the 2-story building. One occupant said that he saw thick smoke coming from the apartment in front of his. An alarm was raised and all those who were in the building at the time evacuated quickly. The fire service, according to residents of the area, responded within minutes and was able to save the building from being flattened. And moving on, now no longer will trainee teachers in Region 9 have to travel to the coast to attend the Cyril Potter College of Education, as a new training college building was commissioned in Lethem on Friday. The building, which was constructed last year to the tune of $28 million, was commissioned by Minister of Local Government and Regional Development Nigel Lall. Speaking at the commissioning ceremony, Regional Chairman Brian Alicock noted that the construction of the building is an important achievement for the people of Region 9. He added that the facility would take off the burden trainee teachers face, having to travel all the way to the city to receive their training. And now let's tell you, the government of Guyana has cut short the continuous registration of potential voters ahead of the previously stated deadline of May 31st, 2023 for the Guyana Elections Commission. The order made under the National Registration Act was signed off by GCOM chairperson Claudette Singh, bringing forward the closing off date to yesterday, February 24th. The order, since published in the official gazette, provides for the suspension of the period of registration, which is provided for under the National Registration Act. And to wrap things up, Alden Reynolds, one of the policemen hospitalized following the Heathburn Public Road Eastbank Berbice accident on Thursday, has died. The 40-year-old police succumbed to his injuries while receiving treatment at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation. Reynolds' colleague, 37-year-old Detective Sergeant Davon Thomas, is said to be recovering at the same hospital. He reportedly has several broken limbs, among other injuries. According to reports, Reynolds and Thomas were standing in close proximity to a car that was parked along the Heathburn parapet when a hire car owned and driven by Troy Henry of Edenburg Village, Eastbank Berbice, slammed into them. Henry was arrested at the scene and his blood alcohol content was over the legal limit.
Right now, children are at an increased risk of sexual abuse, and the perpetrator can be nearer than you think. So stay alert and be aware. Be aware of your neighbors. Be aware of your friends. Be aware of the people you have in your home. Do not become complacent. Protect children now. You can make a report to the police or call the CPA hotline on 227-0979.
A message from the Child Care and Protection Agency, Ministry of Human Services and Social Security, and UNICEF.
Good day and welcome to your news at noon. As usual, we close things off with a little bluntness coming from the page 7 of today's Kaieteur News. The Lall tax case, losing it. Coalition tax waivers effectively ended the tax case. It is an expensive lesson for all Guyanese. Governments err terribly. We must not allow them to continue to fail. When they fail, we lose. Governments, PPP or APNU-AFC, given free rein, choke us. We suffocate as the oxygen is drained from our lives. And let us all watch carefully and constantly hold governments accountable. And that does it for your news at noon. I'm Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us on 225-8465 or 226-8210 today.
Kaieteur Radio.
Covering Guyana.